every rare space event we'll actually see before we die. Unless you get hit by a car, or have a heart attack, or get struck by lightning, or shake a vending machine and it falls on you and crushes you, or have a brain aneurysm, or drown, or fall into a pit of lava, or cartoonishly have a piano that's getting lifted off of a 3rd-story balcony, snap, and then fall on top of you, crushing you.
These dates. Well, why is that important? Usually, we look up at the night sky and see an absolutely still, peaceful picture. It feels like the
All right, I've watched Riddle for a few years now, and it's upsetting me that I now know what he looks like, because this is not what I assumed he looked like.
Well, why is that important? Usually, we look up at the night sky and see an absolutely still, peaceful picture. It feels like the universe has hit pause, but that's a grand illusion. Right now, for example, an asteroid the size of a skyscraper is hurtling towards us at breakneck speed. In a neighboring constellation, a dead star has reached critical mass and is about to light up the sky with a thermonuclear explosion. Meanwhile, our very own moon is about to take...
Yeah, it is wild that things are so far away in cosmic scale that some of the stars that we see, like, shining brightly don't exist anymore. Not many, right? It's not like, oh, it's like every star in the night sky doesn't exist, but, like, a star that's 500 light years away could have exploded, and we just don't know.
A brutal hit, and we'll watch the flash.
What? Because it takes 500 years for the light to get to you. It takes 8 or 15 light minutes for the sun to get to Earth? Like, if the sun exploded right now, you wouldn't know for 8 minutes.
In real time. The craziest part, these main shows won't happen in some abstract future, but right within our lifetimes. To see the first one, you won't even have to wait decades or even years, because it's happening right now in 2026. If you look at the constellation Coronae Borealis, you'll see a bright new star. It shines almost as bright as Polaris.
Yo, I'm goated at spotting planets in the sky now. I be looking up, because I use that app on my phone all the time, that starlight shit, where you could just see, like, where the moon is, or sky view. I don't have the premium version. Like, I'm looking at the satellite right now, or the International Space Station. Oh, Orion's right above me.
Even though just yesterday, there was no visible star there at all. It seems like the night sky has simply been adorned with another bright little dot. But don't let that fool you. Hidden behind this steady light is the epicenter of a colossal catastrophe. In the T Coronae Borealis system, a super dense little white dwarf orbits in tandem with a massive red giant. They're so close to each other that for decades, the dwarf's gravity has been...
Chat, you are unlocking me, and he's telling me something that's very complicated, and I need to pay attention. Can we lock in?
Don't let that fool you. There was no visible star there at all. It seems like the night sky has simply been adorned with another bright little dot. But don't let that fool you. Hidden behind this steady light is the epicenter of a colossal catastrophe. In the T Coronae Borealis system, a super dense little white dwarf orbits in tandem with a massive red giant. They're so close to each other that for decades, the dwarf's gravity has been siphoning off its neighbor's gas. All this hydrogen accumulates on the dwarf's surface. Temperature and pressure build up until they reach a critical point. The outcome is predictable: a massive thermonuclear explosion.
Wait, so this star in the sky that we're seeing super bright right now is a star that exploded, and recently the light is finally hitting Earth.
What looks from Earth like a mere twinkling little star is actually an expanding wall of plasma, heated to millions of degrees. But here's the most fascinating part. The explosion itself occurred 3,000 years ago.
Yo, see, that's what I find so cool about, like, looking up at the night sky, is most of the light that you're seeing is from before you were born. I think it's really fun to find a star that has light that is as old as, or is as many light years away as you are old. Because if you find, like, say you're like 20 and you find a star that's 20 light years away, that means that the light that you're seeing is from when you were born, right? Yeah. If you, like, I'm 24. If I see a star that's 24 light years away, the light that I'm seeing right now is from the year that I was born.
Took that light all this time to cross the void and reach us here today. Soon, this light will fade, and the dwarf will go back to doing its devouring work in the dark. But cosmic events don't just change the night sky. True darkness will descend upon Earth in broad daylight in August 2027. The sun will go out. It sounds like a regular solar eclipse, an amusing astronomical trick.
When was that shit when everybody was just staring at the sun and going blind because they weren't paying attention to, like, all the scientists on the news going, don't stare directly at the sun. You need the glasses. It was like 2019 or some shit. People were just, like, staring at the sun. Oh my God. I remember I had those glasses on. I was like, yo, this shit's lame.
Lasting a couple of minutes. But this time, the mechanics of the cosmos will align with eerie perfection. The sun will go out for an incredible 6 minutes and 23 seconds. It'll be the longest remaining total eclipse of the entire century. On that exact day, the moon—
Wait, of the entire century? We won't have another one until, like, after we're all dead?
Will approach the Earth to its closest possible distance, becoming massive in our sky. Meanwhile, the Earth will move away from the sun to its farthest possible distance. As a result, the giant lunar disk will easily cover up our tiny star with room to spare. Such a perfect alignment of orbits is an incredible rarity. A pitch black shadow, nearly 300 kilometers.
Yo, I can't imagine being like a caveman in a time of a total, like, solar eclipse. Like, you had to think the world was ending right now. You had to be, like, if you were smart enough to talk, but not smart enough to understand that shit, you had to be like, oh no. Do birds get confused? How do other animals interact with solar eclipses? Because what is I'm assuming birds get quiet and they, like, go to sleep or they hide, like something's wrong. How do other animals react to solar eclipses? Oh. Many animals treat sun darkness as twilight, triggering evening routines. So it kind of fast forwards them to thinking, they just think it's night. Like, if you have a total solar eclipse at 2 p.m., they just go, oh, it's time for bed. Oh.
Kilometers
that day went by quick.
Will slice across the planet from southern Spain to Yemen.
They fall asleep for 2 minutes. Wake up again.
It'll plunge the Egyptian pyramids in Luxor into darkness and sweep directly over Mecca. What's more, the shadow will race across the planet at a terrifying speed of around 2,500 kilometers per hour. You couldn't outrun this darkness even on a Boeing passenger jet plane. But 6 minutes later, light will return. Of course, as eerie as an eclipse might seem, it's an entirely and completely safe phenomenon, one that astronomers can predict down to the second. The problem is, there are things in space whose orbits are much more difficult.
Like, I love that. This isn't like an edited photo, right? This is a real image from the desert with, like, a crazy camera lens. I don't think this is AI. It's just, like, wild exposure. Yeah. Like, if you, even with your iPhone, if you live in a state with, like, very little light pollution, you could go outside, set your phone facing the sky, and you could turn the, like, light exposure to, like, 30 seconds, and you'll see shit. Not this detailed, but you'll see stars that you've never even seen before.
Space whose orbits are much more difficult to predict. And just a year and a half later, in April of 2029, an asteroid the size of a skyscraper will approach the Earth. And it's heading straight in.
When?
A year and a half later, in April of 2029, an asteroid the size of a skyscraper will approach the Earth. And it's heading straight into our satellite zone. April 13th, 2029.
Wow. Dude, 2029, I got kicked out mid-ranked game. That would be really shitty.
Apophis, an asteroid.
Dude, what the fuck?
The size of the Empire State Building will fly by Earth. In the early 2000s, astronomers seriously considered the chance of it colliding with our planet. An impact of that force would wipe an entire continent off the face of the planet. But then, thankfully, the calculations were refined. There will be no collision. But it'll pass at a distance of just 32,000 kilometers. That's 12 times closer than the moon. Apophis will dive even closer than our ring of weather and communication satellites that are flying around up there orbiting the Earth. And amazingly, in Europe and Africa, you'll be able to see it with your naked eye just by looking up, a glowing dot sliding rapidly across the night sky. At the moment of closest approach, Apophis won't just fly by. Earth is a gravitational heavyweight. When the asteroid enters our zone of influence, the planet's tidal forces will literally begin tearing it apart. Gravity will pull on the near side of Apophis much harder than on the far side. This will trigger massive asteroid quakes, or should we call them Apophis quakes? Anyway, Earth will warp the shape of this rock as well as alter its rotation and permanently rewrite its orbit. But objects without Earth's immense mass and lacking a dense atmosphere don't stand a chance, which is exactly what our moon is going to experience firsthand in 2032.
Oh my god, the moon's gonna get struck next? Oh no.
For months, astronomers monitored the asteroid.
What about NASA's plan to have a whole fucking moon base?
2024 wide.
That's gonna delay it.
R4. The probability of this 60-meter wide rock crashing into the moon in December
Not the moon!
2032
We do need the moon, though. If the moon didn't exist, that would be bad.
was 4.3%. For orbital mechanics, that's a critical threat level. The moon has no dense atmosphere to tear the object apart. A rock weighing hundreds of thousands of tons would slam into the surface at full speed. The explosions.
What does that fucking do, though? Like, is that gonna alter, like, the moon's rotation around the Earth? Probably not. I feel like it would just be like a nuclear bomb going off.
Energy would be around 15 megatons, hundreds of times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima.
Okay, so a few nuclear bombs.
The blast would kick up a cloud of debris that could be fatal to lunar orbiting satellites. New radar data from ground-based observatories have allowed us to rewrite the trajectory. The impact is canceled. Unfortunately,
Yo, see, like, I kind of want an asteroid to hit the moon or some shit, you know? Like, if I'm able to see that on, like, a crazy satellite or something, I feel like that'd be awesome. Don't hit Earth. I don't want an asteroid to hit Earth. Bro, oh my god. Okay, an asteroid hits the fucking moon. Chat, it knocks out a satellite. Is that, like, what do you mean, what the fuck? Why is that a big deal? You guys are freaking out. If all it does is knock out a satellite, is that bad?
in my opinion, because that would have been
Bro hates the moon. Yo, you know why the moon looks like fucking Swiss cheese? Because shit hits it all the time.
so cool. In December 2032, the
It's not some smooth cue ball. These are all fucking craters.
asteroid will miss the moon by a mere 21,000 kilometers. By cosmic standards, that's just a hair's breadth away. But orbital mechanics do.
Yo, how fast would something have to hit the moon? Say this is Earth. This is the moon. How fast would something have to hit the moon to where it gets pushed into Earth? How big? Would it have to be like another moon? Or could it just be like a fat-ass asteroid? Say like a fat-ass asteroid hits the moon towards Earth. Will it just get closer?
Work flawlessly. There will be no collision. We can calmly
That's impossible. It's not impossible.
and sadly watch the rock fly back away into the darkness. But as it fades away, the night sky is already
Your forehead. Ban that guy?
thankfully preparing an entirely different, this time incredibly bright, spectacle for us. On this day, you'll look up and see a blood-red giant dominating the sky. It'll shine so incredibly brightly that it'll start casting its own shadows on Earth. It might seem to you like a supernova exploded out there in space somewhere, or some other mysterious threat is heading our way. But there's no need to panic. It's our neighbor, Mars, deciding to break with the usual distance and get up close and personal with the Earth. normally.
Hey, okay. Now we're talking. Am I going to see some crazy Mars shit?
Mars hangs out about 225 million kilometers away from us,
Okay.
sometimes retreating as far as 400 million. But this time, it'll reach the closest point to the sun in its orbit right as the Earth flies directly between them. The distance will shrink fourfold, collapsing to a mere 55.9 million kilometers. In cosmic terms, that's practically just an arm's length away. This will
How big will it be in the sky, though?
be the historical record of the century. The last time Mars came this close was back in 2003. In August 2050,
Acting like that's the next time?
you won't need billion-dollar orbital telescopes. Through the cheapest of amateur telescopes, you won't just see a tiny little red dot, but the whole shebang, the angry red planet in all its glory.
I still need a fucking telescope, though. I don't know. I mean,
Complete with its
billionaire, by the way. Bro, not a billionaire, number one. Number two, yeah, I could buy a fucking telescope. Do I want to learn how to use a telescope? No, I've had a telescope. Brooke got me a moon telescope. W. Brooke. But, that shit's hard to use.
ice caps and global dust storms. This close encounter with Mars will be the main astronomical event of 2050. But 11
Bro, 2050, we're all going to be bro. Oh my God. At that point,
years later,
y'all think it's going to be 2050 and you're going to be watching the news and they're going to say Mars is as close to Earth as possible. And at this point, you haven't watched Joe Bart in 10 years, 20 years. Do you think you're going to be like, damn, I remember when I saw this on a riddle video Joe Bart reacted to? Nope.
the sky will present us with
You'll probably have you're not going to remember this day. You'll have a weird deja vu moment. That's what's going to happen. Because you're going to be, dude, this is literally 24 years from now. 24 years from now, you're going to go, that sounds familiar. And you're not going to know why.
another epic
And then like a brain worm, I'm going to seep in. I'm going to go,
comeback. One humanity has been waiting for over half a
like Schmeagol.
century. Can you guess? Yeah, that's right. Halley's Comet. In the summer of
Oh, I'm excited for this. Wait, I'm actually excited for this.
2061,
I mean, we're really banking I live that long, bro. I'd be 59. Like 2061, bruh. I'm supposed to be looking forward to that? I mean, half of us will be dead. Like,
Halley's Comet will appear again in the night sky. And this ain't just any old flying chunk of ice. It's the first comet in history to prove the universe runs
bro saying Yo, y'all will be old as shit. 2061? Everybody's gonna have fun. You're gonna be old as fuck. You're gonna have a pension. You have wife and kids, bro. Oh my God.
on a very strict schedule. So why and how did it become the most famous comet in history? Well, in this case at least, size really isn't that important. It became famous because it helped humanity stop fearing the heavens.
I gotta do math on this chatter that might end up getting banned. They just said they're gonna be 42 in 2061. If they're gonna be 42 in 2061, that doesn't math out. That doesn't math out. That's not how old are they right now? If they just said they're gonna be fucking 42 in 2061. Bro is not 7 years old. Bro is not 7 years old. There's actually, oh my God, he's a spammer. There's no way. There's actually no way. No, he created his account in 2022. He did not create his account when he was 3. This guy is a liar. Bro. Macaroni, man. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Until the 18th century, comets were considered harbingers of the apocalypse. They appeared out of nowhere and sowed panic in the streets. But astronomer Edmund Halley destroyed that fear with math. That's right, he proved that these objects that had so terrified Europeans for centuries, they weren't different omens of doom, but the very same rocks returning again and again on a clockwork schedule. Halley's Comet, tethered to the sun by an invisible gravitational chain, comes for a return visit every 76 years. And by the way, it's the only comet that a human being has the chance of seeing twice in their lifetime. During its last visit in 1986, it was, frankly, disappointing. Earth and the comet were unfortunately on opposite sides of the sun on that pass, at a massive distance from each other. So for most people on Earth, the legendary comet looked like a tiny, blurry little gray smudge. People had run out and bought binoculars in droves, but even
Oh my God, they didn't get to see a day of. It was just disappointing.
then, seeing anything impressive was difficult, to put it mildly. But in July 2061, orbital mechanics will give us some
Yippee!
payback. We'll be on the same side of
Oh my God! Only 25 years away! Only shorter of a century.
our star
Only more than my entire lifetime that I've been alive.
at the perfect distance. We'll finally be able to see that magnificently bright tail in all its glory. By the way, that tail is actually the comet boiling alive. As it approaches the sun, this 15-kilometer wide chunk of dirty ice will be roasting in the vacuum of space.
Nah, I just got sad. Nah, I just got sad. Nope, I just got sad. Oh my God, because I was thinking if I'm alive, the people in my life that I love right now, a lot of them won't be. Oh my God. See, no, this is getting me a note, and now I'm sad. And now I'm sad. See, oh yeah, I get to see Halley's Comet, and all of our parents will probably be dead. So that'll be great. So yeah.
It'll shed millions of tons of matter, fly past us, and dive back into the darkness until
2134. Likely. Your parents are probably in their 50s.
It'll leave behind nothing but a long trail of dust. So, Halley's Comet is a quiet, predictable show.
30s? Mods, can we check that guy?
Just ice melting in the void. But for the next item on our calendar, we'll switch genres to something that will show us true primal fury. In 2083, a new star will suddenly flare up there in the skies above the Earth. It'll appear out of nowhere and in a matter of days become the brightest point in the night sky, outshining
When? I am certainly not making it to this date. Yo, we still got 4 minutes left in the video. He's gonna say in 2093, brother.
In 2083, a new star will suddenly flare up there in the skies above the Earth. It'll appear out of nowhere and in a matter of days.
81, bro. If I'm alive in 2083, my ass is not walking outside to go see this. I'm going to be trapped in an old person home because my kids will hate me, and I'm going to be playing checkers with a random fucking old man that smells of piss and lemonade.
Become the brightest point in the night sky, outshining Sirius and Venus. For a few weeks, this light will alter the familiar pattern.
Jinxie? I somehow get trapped in the same old person home as Jinxie. I don't hear from Jinxie for 40 years. Randomly, I'm in his old person home. I'm shaking playing checkers. I make a move. He's right across from me. He tells me his name's Nick. Nothing concerning, right? I make a move. He goes, all right. I go, what? Snaps me back in. Junko.
Pattern of the constellations. You might think it's a supernova, the death throes of a giant star. But this isn't the death of one star. No, this is the catastrophic head-on collision between two. Right now, the V Sagittarius system is a pair of dim stars locked in a gravitational death grip. A dead white dwarf is literally sucking the plasma out of its neighbor. Because of this, they're rapidly losing orbital speed and spiraling towards each other. This is going to be so cool. In 2083, the distance between them will drop to 0. The white dwarf will plunge into the core of its neighbor. This isn't just a collision, it's a fatal merger that will trigger a ginormous thermonuclear explosion. Eventually, the glow will gradually fade, leaving behind one star instead of two. This is the largest catastrophe of our century that we'll be able to see with our naked eye, or hopefully you have two. But even this merger of two stars pales in comparison to the event awaiting us next. I can't talk. I'll call you in 5 minutes. In March 2092, those who point
Yo! There's a fly in my room. 2092?
their telescopes at Jupiter will see something
2092, I am not, there's no world I lived in 90. There's no world I lived in 90. I'm giving myself, at best, the age my grandpa died. I'm going like 83. I think realistically like 72. Joe, you're rich? Yeah, I also smoke weed and get high every day. I think I'm gonna have a heart attack at like 64. I think I'm randomly barbecuing outside on a spring day, flipping burgers that I can't eat still because I've alpha gal 30 years later. I faceplant right into the grill. Right? The propane tank explodes and it triggers like a Final Destination, like death coming for me type movie scene.
unthinkable.
Faceplant right into the grill.
The planet's 4 largest moons will disappear, merging into a single gleaming point.
And then my outro music plays.
After the thermonuclear explosion of V Sagitti, you might think we're going to witness another massive cosmic collision. But this time, there will be no catastrophes. This will be the universe gifting us with a mathematically perfect optical illusion. Io, Europa, Ganymede, and Callisto orbit Jupiter on the same plane. In 2092, Earth will pass perfectly through the plane of their orbits.
In 2092, they're going to have VR goon masks. I don't think anyone is going to give a shit about this in, 64 years or 65 years?
Orbital rhythms will align in an exceedingly rare parade. Some of the moons will pass directly in front of Jupiter.
What age will you stop streaming? Don't know. I already cut back to like 5 days a week. Next year, probably like 4 days a week. Then I'll kind of just, the year after that, maybe like whatever I want.
There's disk, blending in.
No real timeline, but it'll probably be like a slow cut back. I don't think I'd ever do just hard stop. You know what I mean? I don't like when YouTubers go, crank out content, done. You know? It would be like, I post a little less. Post a little less. You know how I did on TikTok where it was like I used to post 5 days a week, then it was 3, then it was 4, or then it was 3, then it was 2, then it was 1, then it was 1 every other day, then it was 1 every... So it'd be like over a span of like, you know, years.
Into its clouds. Well, the others will vanish.
I'm not saying 2 years, chat. Oh my God, I hate when you guys ask me this because you guys just tweak out every time. Oh no! Oh no!
Into the giant black
Don't worry, chat. I'll sell to a private equity group and then replace myself with somebody that looks kind of like me.
shadow behind the planet. Even better, the moons will begin to eclipse one another. Massive Ganymede will cast its shadow directly onto the ice of Europa, blocking its light for the earthly observer. This deceptive geometry will only last a couple of hours. Then the moons will emerge from the shadows and the Jupiter system will return to its usual state. We might actually witness with fucking piece of shit.
Whoa!
Right now, above us, there are
Yo, I'm liking this new riddle.
events already set in motion, some unfolding slowly, some building towards moments we might actually witness within our lifetimes. The sky is not static, it's a timeline, and it's moving. All it asks is that we remember to glance skyward. By the way, if you're enjoying this new format, I'd be absolutely
I am. I was a little thrown back. Initially, but I like it.
delighted if you subscribed.
I will, Mr. Riddle. Huh.
Turn on notifications, drop a like,
No,
and
I don't know about that. I did drop a like, though.
of course, let me know what you think in the comments. Your support really does motivate me to keep creating and to keep making these videos better. See you in the next one.
Dude, W. Riddle, man. Glad to see that Agent 47 took a turn for science. Is that like the first video he showed his face? Holy, he rezzed his channel. Holy revive. Holy revive. Riddle. My God. Holy revive. Back to Andrew K. Views? Jeez, ew. I remember I used to watch him all the time. What if Titanoboa snake didn't go extinct? I remember I would watch these, dude. Oh my God, this is like peak COVID. What if a nuclear bomb detonated in the Marianas Trench? Now imagine your grandpa had blue balls. Now imagine your grandpa has blue balls. he says in the riddle voice. Let's lock in. Next video.